Why can't I make my business work? What's wrong with me? That's what I found myself saying about 6 months into my home business. I started my home business back in 2008. I'd worked about 6 months and man, I just couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get results. All these other people around me were getting results. I wasn't getting results. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? Right. Ever feel that way? Lots of people do. If you're watching this video based on the title, you're probably feeling that way or you have felt that way. And it's so weird because when I started my business, I was still in my healthcare career, I was still in my job, and I was really good at my job, right? I was really good. I was pulling out a good income. I had lots of experience, respected in my field. And all of a sudden, I start this business and I'm a doofus. I can't make it work. What the heck is wrong with me? And I couldn't figure it out for a while. It took me a while to figure it out. And with the help of some coaches, I was like, okay, I was telling them I'm not lazy. I'm working hard. I'd work my job all day. I come home, I work my business for a couple hours at night. I work on weekends. Like, it's not because I'm lazy. It's not because I'm not doing it, but nothing's happening and I can't figure it out. And what he finally pointed out to me, and now it makes, of course, common sense, right? But what he finally pointed out to me was like, hey, in your healthcare career, you have all these different skills, right? I was an embryologist. I ran infertility labs. So I had a certain knowledge and a certain skill level at that job to get where I got, right? So I had those skills. When I started my business, I had no skills, right? I'd never sold anything before. I'd never promoted anything. I'd never done online marketing. I never did video. I never did any of this stuff. And I struggled because, of course, I struggled, right? Why wouldn't I struggle? Whenever you start something new, you struggle. But I was in this mindset that I was successful over here. I should be successful over my business. So why aren't I? And I beat myself up so bad with that for a while. So that's the first thing I want to let you know in this video is that if you're feeling that way, what's wrong with me? Why can't I make this work? A lot of times it comes down to skills. You haven't built up the skill set yet to get the results. And if you have a job, if you have something else you do in your life where you're really good at it, chances are it's not the same skill set. The only people I've seen that come from a job into a business and get success pretty quickly are people whose job involves selling or marketing or something like that because they can just transfer the skills, right? And so they already have the skills. But if you're not like that, like I wasn't, you're going to struggle. Of course, you're going to struggle. So that's the first point. The next point is when you do get time to work on your business, are you doing the right things? And you probably all heard about income producing activities. I call them high impact or most impactful activities. You can't be, as Jim Rohn would say, majoring in minor things. You can't sit down at your computer and think, oh, what should I do today? If you're thinking that way, you've probably already lost, right? You're probably not going to win the day. And it's all about winning days, right? So if you're sitting there and you're not sure what to do, you have to figure out, okay, what is the best use of my time right now in the time I have, whether that's 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is. What's the best use of my time to move the needle most on my business right now? Right. And sometimes it's intuitive. Sometimes if you're in network marketing, you're just starting, you got to talk to people, right? You have to talk to people, see whether or not they're open with your opportunity or your product or service. So talking to people, building relationships, that makes sense, right? But sometimes it's not so intuitive. And when it's not so intuitive, that's when we hem and haw and go over to YouTube and start watching videos or TikTok and start watching videos. Maybe we just check our email real quick or surf on Facebook. And before you know it, boom, your time's up. Got to go to bed, got to go to work, whatever it is. Frustration, right? Really frustration because you had this time, this precious time, and you blew it. You didn't do anything important. If that's true, if you found yourself in that boat, I have something that'll help you. So in those times where it's not really intuitive what your high impact activities are, I have this AI prompt that I've been using with ChatGPT, and it works really well to just help you understand in general, what are your high impact activities based on things like what your business model is, right? Your level of experience. Have you had results so far? What kind of marketing method are you going to use? And what's your goals, right? So I incorporated all that into a prompt and I want to share it with you to show you because I think it's important. So hold on one second. Let me share my screen, get over there, just show you this because I think you're going to dig this, and you can take a shot of it once I share it for you. All right, so I call it my most impactful activities AI prompt. And here it is. It's I am, and then that's where you insert your business model. I'm a network marketer, affiliate marketer, video marketer, whatever, right? Whatever model you have, e-commerce, whatever, right? I am blank with, and then you put in your level of experience and the results you might have. So I'm a beginning marketer with no results. I'm an intermediate marketer, and I make about 2K a month, right? Feed in as much information as you can into this model. I'm building my business, and then here's where you put in your primary method of marketing, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, email marketing, whatever, right? Whatever your primary marketing method is. My goals are to blank, and here's where you put your short-term goals. I would say your short-term goals because you really want it. That's where you want it to impact the most, right here. And then you can say, based on this information, what would be my 3 most impactful activities I could do to hit my goals? Right? That is a prompt that I've been using. I hope you had enough time to screenshot that if you want. That is the prompt that I've been using to basically help me when I'm not sure what I should be doing with my time. Since I have my job, I'm now full-time in my business, so I have a lot of time. But sometimes that works against you too, right? Having a lot of time, because sometimes having a lot of time allows you to procrastinate and put things off, and I'll do it later, right? And you know what happens when you put stuff off later, right? It doesn't happen. So I use this, I use this for my clients who are part-time, full-time, doesn't matter. This prompt will help you at least drill down into your personal business to let you know what your high impact activities probably are. And you can pick one and work on it, and you'll know that, hey, I'm doing something that matters in my business. I've taken that prompt, that AI prompt, and I've run it through 8 different scenarios of network marketers, affiliate marketers, e-commerce, eBay resellers, all kinds of stuff with all different level of experience, all different goals. And I have 8 different scenarios that spit out your 3 most impactful activities. I put that in the PDF. If you want it, it's totally free. If you want it, just comment impact in the comments here below the video, and I'll shoot that over to you so you can have it. So again, comment impact down below. You can get that. All right, so you have your skills that you need to work on. You have your most impactful activities, and some of those impactful activities might involve getting better at your skill set, right? It might do that, might be that way. So you have those 2 things. So the final piece of it then is implementation, right? Implementation of what you're learning and doing it in such a way where you can possibly get results. So again, story time, right? When I first started my business, I'm a big learner, right? I love to learn things, especially if it's new. It gives me dopamine hits. I spent my time learning when I first started. So I'd get on webinars. Webinars were big back in 2008, right? They're still big, but they're not as big as they were back then. There was a webinar every night, a free webinar, right? So I'd jump on these webinars, I'd learn all these different things, and I would have like notebooks full of notes, right? Notebooks full of notes. I still have a bunch of them. But the problem was I wasn't doing anything. And funny story. So after about a few months of this, after I got home from my job, I was working on my business, watching a webinar. My wife is already in bed, half asleep, and I finished up, turned off the computer after the webinar, all proud of myself, right? Ooh, God, I learned so much today. Great. Got into bed, and she picks her head up. She's kind of sleepily, and she's like, how'd it go? And I said, oh man, I learned so much today. It was so great. And she said, oh, that's great, honey. She goes, she just has a little pain look. She's, did you make any money? And I mean, just boom, right in the face, right? And I'm like, oh, you don't understand. You have to learn. But in my heart, I knew she was right. I wasn't doing anything with this. So here's the rule I have now: is when I learn something, I don't really learn anything else until I do something with it, right? I practice it, I implement, I do something. You have to balance that scale out, a 1-to-1, pretty close to a 1-to-1 if you can. 1 part learning, 1 part implementing, because you got to do something with what you're learning, or it's just taking up space in your head. So it's not going to help you out. So I found in my business that those are the 3 things that keep people where they're not making money and thinking like, what's wrong with me? It's they don't have the skill set yet. They don't know what to do with their time. They don't know their high impact activities, and they're not implementing what they're learning. Those 3 things are probably the biggest 3 that help me break through, start making money, and eventually quit my job. So you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and of course, I will see you on the next video. Take care.